Okay, and there he is. Good morning, Vice Mayor.
Morning.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
I think we need to congratulate the vice mayor on a big accomplishment, passing the Florida bar.
oh, congratulations, Vice Mayor.
Congratulations.
Let's
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Our lawyers in residence here. Congratulations, Vice Mayor.
You ain't got my wife here clapping for you, buddy.
So it's Vice Mayor.
Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you so much. All right, let's call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 25th. Welcome to the City of West Miami Special City Commission meeting. It is 10:03. Madam Clerk, if you could please read the instructions for joining this meeting via Zoom, please.
Yes, good morning. This is a hybrid meeting pursuant to resolution approved by the City Commission on October 30th, 2020. The instructions to participate in the virtual commission meeting. The City Commission meeting is held virtually. The public may join the meeting via Zoom, https://zoom.us/j/3255236059. The person wishing to submit any live remote public comments will be afforded 3 minutes to speak. The instructions to access the virtual commission meeting by phone: first dial 1-301-715-8592. When you connect, a machine will ask you for the meeting ID, then dial 325-523-6059, followed by a pound sign. Wait a few minutes until the host accepts and gives you access to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Roll call, please.
Yes, item 1, roll call. Mayor Rhonda Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice Mayor Eric Diaz-Padrón.
Here.
Commissioner Candida Blanca.
Yes.
Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Attorney, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? We could all stand for the pledge, please.
To the flag of the United States
The United States of America
and
and
to
to
the
the republic for which it stands,
one
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 3, public comments.
Does anyone register to speak for public comments?
Not as of this time, Madam Mayor.
I see no one online and nothing in the chat. We will proceed to the next item.
Item 4, special agenda items. Item 4A, report by the Office of the City Manager regarding the notification by the Department of Revenue Property Tax Oversight Division on the certification of the millage rate, which was found to be not compliant by TRIM due to the required 2/3 vote of the City Commission to be able to preserve the prior year 6.8858 millage rate for the 2020-2021 city budget by City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and good morning to all the members to everyone, and to the mayor and city commission members. Yesterday evening, before we left, I issued a memorandum addressed to the mayor, the vice mayor, and city commission regarding a formal notification to you that the state of Florida Department of Revenue Property Tax Oversight deemed our millage certification not compliant under the provisions of the statutes that govern the certification of the millage. I personally reached out along with Mr. Jose Villalobos, our city attorney, to the state. But before that, I wanted to report that I personally took the time to reach out to all the members of the city commission and briefly explain to you individually the need for us to become compliant and how to get there, basically. And this is why the mayor has called for this hybrid emergency special city commission meeting this morning. Now, the Department of Revenue Tax Oversight Division has given us until December 1st, 2020, so that we can submit a written corrective plan of action in their office by that date. The findings has given us three choices to comply with the TRIM certification. In the letter that we also provided to the mayor and commission yesterday, along with the agenda packet, and what I discussed with you is, in order to correct the non-compliance and have it deemed compliant, the taxing authority, meaning the city of West Miami in this case, may re-advertise to hold a new final hearing at which the taxing authority adopts the existing millage rate by a 2/3 vote of the full membership of the governing body. The second option is our taxing authority may re-advertise and hold a new final hearing at which the taxing authority adopts a lower millage rate in compliance with the voting requirements of the section of the statutes, which is 200.065 paren 5, that governs the TRIM certification. The tax collector will be directed to hold in escrow any ad valorem revenues collected from millage in excess of the millage rate adopted at the new final hearing and in compliance with section 200.065 paren 5 of the Florida statutes. The tax collector must hold these escrow amounts in reserve until the subsequent fiscal year and must then use them to reduce the ad valorem taxes otherwise necessary. The third option would be the taxing authority, again, meaning the city of West Miami, may accept the withholding of this half-cent sales tax distribution for a period of 12 months following the department's determination of non-compliance. Having looked at these three options, I think that the way to go would be to re-advertise and hold a new final hearing, at which time the taxing authority, meaning the governing body of the city of West Miami, adopts the existing millage rate by a 2/3 vote of the full membership of the commission. That would be our recommendation, the recommendation of the finance director and my office. Now, there's a very small window of time to be able to accomplish this. Number one, the notice by the city to the department by December 1st, of which of these options the taxing authority plans to follow to remedy this non-compliance. Number two, we may appear before the department or otherwise present information that we believe that indicates that the department's determination of non-compliance under that statutory section that I referenced is in error. Any such request for appearance should be made by November 30th, meaning next Monday, and completed by December 3rd. So that even presents a shorter window of time. If our taxing authority does not readopt the millage rate in the appropriate manner, and if necessary, the funds are not escrowed and held in reserve under that section of the statute. Actually, it's a different section of the statute. It is 200.065 paren 13 paren D. Our taxing authority will forfeit the distribution of the sales tax receipts, which would be detrimental to the city. And the department will notify their refunds and revenue distribution process under another subsection of the statute, which is 200.065 paren 13 E and 218.63 paren 3 to withhold the half-cent sales tax distribution for a year, which is extremely detrimental to the city. So in reading the letter, and I read the letter, I discussed it with Mr. Villalobos. We contacted the contact person, Wyatt Peters, at the Department of Revenue. And basically he went over the options again with us. And our recommendation is that we go through this process of take option 1 and advertise for a public hearing to adopt the millage rate by a 2/3 vote of the full membership of the governing body. That would be, out of the 3 options that we are presented with, that would be our recommendation. That would trigger our office to prepare, the city clerk and myself, to prepare the ads again, make sure that we get a confirmation by the newspaper. In this case, it would be the Miami Herald. We would have to follow some specific language and follow the statute on the process to make sure that we are meeting the requirements of that section of the Florida statutes in a separate notice, and provide a determination to be made by the commission to the state of Florida within 15 days of receipt of this notice. We have 14 days from today. We received the notice yesterday. We received a Federal Express packet, and it was clocked in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on November 24th, 2020. This has never happened in the 37 years that we've been working with these notices in the city of West Miami. Before that, I cannot tell you. So what we need to do, Madam Mayor, is I would recommend that you allow us to proceed with the proper notification. We have to look at the statute and see what kind of language goes on that notification. And that notification will need to appear, in order for us to meet these strict timelines, would have to appear on the Sunday publication of the Miami Herald on Sunday, December 6th. Then there's a particular window of time whereby we would be allowed and compliant with holding the public hearing. And that would be Wednesday, December 9th. All public hearings dealing with the budget must be held after 5:01 p.m. That is statutory. So we must obey that mandate. And all your meetings, all your public hearings on the city budget have been held this year at 5:01 p.m. and in prior years during the evening hours. So that would be our recommendation, so that we can strive. And I would notify the department today. I mean, it all depends what way to go here, what thoughts and what direction we get from the commission. If these dates are acceptable to you, we will move forward and notify the Department of Revenue. That concludes that report. A copy of my memo is attached to the agenda. And obviously, it seems to me that this is the best way to go. The property, and I just got off the phone with property appraisal this morning. The property appraiser's office has sent out the notice of taxes, property taxes, and they have already started the collection process, and they have started to distribute tax revenue to the city. I can go on record today to tell you, I don't know if you have had other calls. I checked with the office this morning to see if anyone had called to complain about the millage rate or the tax bill, and we have had 0 calls. So the most important thing is that the 5 members of our governing body be present at the next meeting so that we can have a full commission I don't know which way this is gonna go, but whatever way it goes, everybody gets an opportunity to weigh in on the recommendation of the manager or otherwise. The manager and the finance director, I mean, we've gone on record to say this. We would like for the commission to basically cement, if you would, the millage rate at 6.8858, but that is going to be discussed at that public hearing. But we have put it in writing. The letter from the Florida Department of Revenue has been attached in the packet, and the notice adds that we have to comply with, along with all the certification that goes with it, has been included in the packet. That concludes my report. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to take them.
¿Le toca?
Excuse me, just
I
one
have a
second.
question, but first, can we mute the caller? Just
Yes,
to,
one moment, please. ¿Quién tiene su puesto con- we have to turn it down porque están saliendo todas las voces. Salió todo. Ven, Luli. I apologize, but we were getting sound from the office. I'm back.
so I read the letter here, and it says to please advise department by December 1st, 2020, which of these options the taxing authority plans to follow to remedy the non-compliance, right?
Yes, sir.
And what part of your recommendation is to go to public hearing again, right? Which is, I think, obvious. But in the three options, they sort of want you to tell them by December 1st exactly which option, not that you're going to go to public hearing, right?
Right.
So I believe that we should, as a commission now, before that public hearing, obviously the public hearing, anyone can speak and things can change, but before that public hearing, sort of make a more concrete determination, because that's sort of what they're asking for. Do you follow what I'm?
Completely, yes. And that's why I use the word cement the millage rate.
Right. I mean, I think, as most people probably here assume, the reason I voted against the millage rate was not to cause an issue. It was because I believe that this year we should not keep the exact same millage rate as last year with a 12% increase in revenue. So you might have 4 votes on this, and that is perfectly right and perfectly okay. But where I would be comfortable voting yes on an increase is at somewhere between a 6.679, 6792. You're writing that down, Yoli? Madam Manager?
Yes, and you can call me Yoli.
6.6792.
Hello?
6.6792. Let me repeat that. 6.6792.
Right, which is a 3% decrease, which all it means is basically the city would get a lot more revenue from all new development, from any residential property that has increased in property value but is being rented, is not homestead exemption, and anybody who has a homestead on their property would for sure not experience a cent increase. That's where I'm comfortable. Obviously, there's 4 other equal members on this commission, and everyone makes their own determination on how they see it. But that, I want to put that out there now because I think we should decide this before the next meeting.
One moment, please.
Yo le mandé un
Hello?
email. Yo voy a tratar de llamar otra vez porque
President Suarez and myself have been trying to speak, but no one on Zoom has heard us. Can you hear me on Zoom now?
Let me check. But give me a second. We're going through some. Madam Mayor, okay. If you can hear me, I guess show your hands or wave, because the internet connection is not stable, and I am going to send out a text message. One moment, please. Are you able to hear me now, Madam Mayor? Commissioner Blanes, could you speak to see if we can get sound from you?
1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Could we try with the Vice Mayor?
Hello, hello.
Madam Mayor? Commissioner Candida Blanca?
Yes. Manager, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. And Commissioner Suarez?
I hear you. Okay.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, for the record, from the entire time the manager was giving her report, Commissioner Suarez and myself were trying to say something, but you all could not hear me. So from the duration of the manager's report until right now, we were not part of the Zoom meeting.
Okay,
So
noted.
I would need to scratch everything that was said because we all had something to say about it, but you could not hear us. So let's start again from the end of the manager's report, which I believe is when you could not hear us, because the Vice President Suarez was saying something to you, Madam Manager, through your report, and you obviously could not acknowledge it because you could not hear him.
I could not. I apologize.
And then what? No, I'm not saying that for anything. Just so the records reflect that Vice President Suarez and myself were attempting to talk to you or say something to you during your report, but you could not hear us. And then I was attempting to speak to the Vice Mayor, and he could not hear me. So we're going to start again with the end of your report. Okay.
Madam Mayor, was everybody, did everybody hear when I read the item?
Yes.
Okay.
We heard when you read the item, and we heard the manager's report. The problem wasn't us hearing. We could hear everything, but no one
You couldn't
hear
speak.
us. The Vice Mayor Suarez was attempting to say something to the manager at the end of her report. You could not hear us. I attempted to say something to the manager at the end of her report. She could not hear. I attempted to speak to the Vice Mayor. When he started speaking, he could not hear me. So we're going to rewind and start again from the end of the report. I thank the manager for a very detailed and informative report. Vice Commissioner Blanes, if you want to repeat you were thanking the manager as well for her report. And then I was calling for you to read the next item, but obviously you could not hear me. So that's exactly where we're going to start now. After the report, I asked the clerk to read the next item, please.
So you want me to read 4B right now, Madam Mayor?
Yeah.
Yes. Item 4B, request by the city manager to select option number 1 from the state of Florida Department of Revenue and Property Tax Oversight as our plan to correct the finding and attain millage compliance. City manager, mayor, and city commission.
Again, Madam Mayor, it is our recommendation that we select option 1. and even for the sake of transparency, provide adequate notice to the community that our millage certification was not compliant with the statute and that we have to go through the process again. So we've always been very transparent and there's no need to change that now. I would go with that option. And obviously the vice mayor did bring out a very good point this morning. And basically the letter tells us in no uncertain way that we have to, that we may re-advertise and hold a new final hearing to preserve the existing millage rate or otherwise adopt a lower millage rate. And his point and comment is very well taken because it intertwines with options 1 and 2. So
Let's proceed. Let's proceed with item B. Madam Clerk, I realize it doesn't call for a vote, but I'd like for you to call the vote to accept the request by the city manager to select option 1 from the state of Florida Department of Revenue and Property Tax Oversight as our plan to correct the finding and attain millage compliance. Could you call the vote on that item, Madam Clerk?
Okay, we need then a motion. We need a second, and then I'll call the vote.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please call the vote.
Commissioner Blanes, how do you
Yeah.
vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
No.
Mayor Rodriguez?
Yes.
4-1, item passes.
Next item, please.
Item C, selection of new final public hearing and setting up of millage rate for the 2020-2021 for Wednesday, December 9, 2020, to attain compliance and avoid any withholding of city funds as provided by the letter containing the findings. Mayor and City Commission.
Okay. Again, I know this doesn't call for a motion, but I'd like a motion on this item.
Motion.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Call the vote, please, on item C.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes. Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez?
Yes, and Madam Clerk, we need to add to this December 9th at 5:01 p.m.
Duly noted. Will be advertised for that time, December 9th, Wednesday at 5:01 p.m.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 5, good of the order.
Anyone for good of the order? I do. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I know this is going to be a little different year for all of us, but let's all remember that there are things that we are grateful for, and let's be together with our family and enjoy the holidays. And I will see everyone on December 9th at 5:01 p.m. on Zoom.
you'll see them before that. We have a regular commission meeting.
I'm sure that is
Yes, we have commission meeting on Wednesday. I have to publish an agenda today.
true. I'm looking at the cake here, I'm saying that's true. There's a commission meeting. Thank you all for being present in this meeting. And I will see you all at the next meeting. I need
Thank
a
you.
motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
When this motion is adjourned, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.